take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah.
I'm a big proponent of marketing. I think you should invest heavily back in marketing, but you also got to be smart about it, and investing in the right marketing, and understand that our industry is cyclical. When we're in the boom, you should be preparing for the next bust. And when we're in the bust is when you should be preparing for the next boom. If your business is strong enough today that you can look to add an operations manager to your team, or to add a marketing person if you're a solo agent who's going to help you full time with social media and videos, if you can do that in today's market, then it probably makes sense, because we are in a down market. And if you're doing well enough to afford that, you'll be fine when the thing goes the other way. But right now we're in a bust. Things aren't going to get much worse than they are today. But if you're in a good place today and you're making money today and you're cash flow positive today, then you will only do better as the market starts to turn around. The amount of money we're spending on Zillow leads, on TV and radio leads, on all this lead generation we're doing is we're now seeing in real time what's working and what isn't as a company. If you go and talk to the CEO of most brokerages our size, they don't have a clue. They haven't sold a house in God knows how many years, and they don't have their finger on the pulse of lead generation. They don't have their finger on the pulse of the actual objections consumers are using right now, the actual tactics that the agents with the highest conversion rates are seeing. With our massive spend on leads right now, we are getting the most up-to-date information on what we are seeing right now. And we can see in the data. I can see the agents who are converting at over 10% in the leads program. I can see the agents who are converting at lower numbers. And then we can have those conversations and say, hey, what are you doing different? What's working right now? And it's current information, because look, this changes. What worked 6 months ago, it worked a year ago. What works today may not work in 6 months. And so one of the really cool things we have here at LPT Realty is because of that massive leads program we're running, we know what's happening in real time. And then we get to come here on Real Estate First Friday and share it with you. Really cool benefit of being here at LPT Realty, a different level of insight, a different level of data and training and connection and real world knowledge that we get to share with all of you.
Do we think the market is going to crash? I would say that any type of crash that was going to happen already happened. We have seen volume drop by 30 to 40%, but what we haven't seen is home prices come down substantially. There are parts of the country where there are certain isolated markets. There are states where values have softened a little bit. There are small microcosm pockets, but we're a year into this. The Fed started raising rates a year ago. We saw home affordability go to an all-time low, and we have not seen any type of crash in home prices. There's very little chance, I believe at this point, that it's going to happen. We're almost through the Fed's raising cycle. We're about to come down the other side of this, where mortgage rates will start to come back down. What will happen is, as mortgage rates start to come back down, the housing market's going to heat up even more. One of the important concepts is to buy now, because hey, just like you misunderstood and thought there was a chance there would be a crash in the future, other people believe that too. At some point, they're going to realize it's not happening. And when that happens, there will be even more competition for the small number of homes that are available. So if you're buying a primary residence, the best thing you can do is get in there now, get in sooner than later, start all the other benefits of home ownership and buy that house. When rates come down, you can refi. Having a mortgage is the most powerful one-sided option in favor of the consumer known to man.
The cash offer still works. The idea of finding out how much will someone pay me for my house right now, that call to action still works. The funny thing is, we know as industry experts that most of the offers they're going to get aren't going to really be that attractive. We've seen Open Door and OfferPad are hemorrhaging cash. Their stock is down at abysmal levels. So they basically said, we're paying way less for houses these days because it's the only way they can make money when we're not in a supercharged market. We know that, but the average consumer doesn't. And so it's a great call to action because it creates an opportunity for you to go be an educator. The active marketing plan call to action, the 9 critical question call to action, that's setting you up to go be an educator. The home value call to action. Why do they want a home value from you instead of from an automated system? The education component. You get to go in there and be an educational expert for them. The cash offer, we don't necessarily think of it that way. We think, well, if they want to sell their home cash, they're probably not going to list with me. Why is that a good call to action? Well, they think they want to sell their home cash because they don't have all the facts. The call to action of offering the cash offer is to get you in the door, to then give the educational consultation on why the cash offer may or may not be right for them, and then hopefully obtain the listing. Or if not, if they do decide to go with the cash offer, you still have the opportunity to help them buy their next home. You pick up that ability to become their agent for life, earn referrals. There's all these other benefits that we know come once you can get in that person's living room and give a face-to-face presentation, whether that is under the idea of a free home valuation, presenting cash offers, or consulting them on how to deal with feeling trapped by their current interest rate.
We had the vision to launch LPT Realty into a constricting market, but we didn't think it was going to be quite as bad as it was. We didn't think interest rates were going to go all the way to 7 and ping pong around and continue to cause pain. We didn't think we would see the number of customers who are canceling contracts on new construction or backing out of deals later. There's a lot of things we're having to deal with right now as an industry. And look, in Florida has it pretty good. There are parts of the country that definitely have it much worse. There are pockets where we're still seeing a lot of activity, but things are nowhere near as good as they were. And they are honestly worse than we thought they would get. And so we're very focused on how do we help you overcome that? How do we help you offset that? How do we continue to build tools and marketing products and technology so that you can do more business, so that you can take market share, so that you can outshine your competition and win at those listing appointments and win at those buyers appointments and make more business for yourselves, your family, and for this brokerage.
Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my